Hey everybody, it's Shark Scrapper. So thought I'd do a little video on boxing up some stuff to go to board sort. I do it frequently, just seems like something that'd be fun to share. This box happens to be ready to go, so let's take a quick look inside and see what we've got going on here. Now, these are large socket motherboards. You can see the large socket, right? And what I've done is stacked the boards as tightly as I can inside of the box. They're all up on this side. Some of the large socket motherboards are long, so those are on the bottom. Then I've got some that are the exact width of this box, 13 inches. A couple of those stacked there to take up that space. And then the rest of them, so as you can see there. And then I alternate them, flipping them up and down, to try to line up you know, the various connector ends and stuff like that, so they squash down a little bit better. Well, once that's all done, then I have a space along here. So the next thing I did was I took some RAM and I put that RAM in. There's two of these packages of RAM in here. They're each 1 linear foot in length, and they fit nice and clean down inside there. All right, so that added another 7 pounds of RAM to this package. And then I have this space over here that was empty. So there you see I put in a little baggie that's 1 pound of gold connector ends. So now I have a nice clean box here. It's packed pretty tightly. And then I just stuff in some of these pillows. Do not use styrofoam, okay? Just don't use styrofoam. But something like this is good. It'll help, you know, keep it from getting too banged around. Speaking of packages getting banged around, we all know that packages can get damaged in shipping. Let's face it, that's a hard time. It's a rough time, right? Even if you put Fragile all over them and stuff like that, they might get damaged. So we can do certain things to try to protect ourselves. Think about what's going on inside that box. You've got a bunch of boards. Each one of those boards can act like a little knife, sliding around, and they could cut open baggies that are inside there or other packages. So maybe instead of putting those connector ends in a little baggie, I should have put them in a little separate box. Maybe those RAM sticks, instead of wrapping them in plastic with duct tape, I should have put them in a separate box. It's certainly a very good consideration and a way to protect what I'm shipping so that it doesn't come out of the box when it's en route or get scattered around inside the box. Now, the folks at Board Sort are really good. You know, they can tell that you tried to separate it. If a bag slices open and stuff is rolling around, they're going to, you know, take care of you on that respect. But we need to take a little responsibility ourselves as shippers. Now, the other thing that we can do is consider double or triple wrapping the box. Here's an example of a triple wrapped box. Now, this is using blue paint masking tape to make it clearer, right? You don't want to use masking tape to ship. You absolutely do not. Use shipping tape. Either the strapping stuff that's got the little threads inside of it or some other approved shipping tape. This is just here so you can clearly see a triple wrapped box. And you might want to consider doing that. That doesn't cost that much in extra tape. The tape's not going to add a lot of weight. And it is another way to help protect your box against damage in shipping. Okay, enough on the damage. Let's get back to it. The total weight on this box is 31 pounds and a few ounces, 31.03 pounds. And then I do this as I'm loading a box just to keep track of it. I tear the box 1.16, and then as I add the material, I just make a note of the weight. There's different ways to do this. You can tear in between each material that you put in and get the weight of the new material, or you can do the math as you add stuff. Whatever works easiest for you. So the other thing that you need to do is you'll need the in addition to the weight, you'll need the size of the box. I know that this is going to seem kind of silly for some people, but there's a lot of new folks that are in the scrapping world. So boxes are length, width, and height, right? So you've got the length, you've got the width, and you've got the height. If you go to any of the U.S. Postal Service, FedEx, UPS type sites, they all have little keys and links to show you this. So, but here you see a real box and the way I would have measured it. 16 inches long, 13 inches wide, 13 inches deep. Alrighty then, I'm going to go back and enter this material into the board sort webpage and show you that, so that you can see how you actually go about selling this material to board sort and work with this great guy there named Chris. All right, so once you get to the board sort webpage, you'll start out by seeing some really good information here right away. Over on the right hand side, you've got some current selected payout rates. You've got the 24-hour gold value. Just people like to get that. That's coming from Kitco. Over on the left hand side, you had some informational videos, and board sort happened to grab one that I put together back in the beginning of 2020, where I was talking about an experiment I did where I compared a stack of the exact same boards, so half of them to board sort, half of them to my local yard, and talked about what the value difference was for me. They thought that was informative and put that on their page. I also want to show you this, their e-scrap gallery, their discussion forums. This discussion forum has got a lot of great information here. This is, even if you're not going to sell the board sort, there's a ton of information here that is really valuable to bring you up to speed on e-waste and different types of boards and what things are. I also call your attention to this tested chip buying link here. When you click on that, you're going to go to this forum discussion, and this is the introduction page here for the tested chip buying program. This is pretty good because it shows you how to tell what different chips are, you know, the I-series chips here, right? So you can see how to tell what a chip is, what generation, and then you can click on this link here, and here's what board sort is paying for the different I-series chips. Now, what's nice about this is look at some of these newer, these i5s. They're paying $25, $35, $40 for i7s. So there's good value in the I-series chips, but it's important to understand that they have to be functional chips, right? So you tell board sort that you're sending the chip in as part of the tested chip buying program. You keep it separate, wrap it very carefully. They will test it. If it works, they'll pay you as the functional chip price. If it doesn't work, then they're just paying you by the weight for the pinless CPUs. So definitely something to take advantage of if you find these I-series chips. Okay, so that's the discussion forum. The e-scrap gallery is also really cool here. You've got good pictures of different kinds of boards, talks about what they are to help you work your way through finding out what things are and learning how to identify different things. All right, so after you log in, and if you haven't created an account, it's very easy, it's free to go ahead and create your account. So you log in, you can see I'm logged in as Shark Scrapper. Then I want to sell some material. Wait a minute, before we do that, let's just click here, payout rates, so that you can see what the payout rate chart looks like. There's just a list of the stuff that they're paying. There's their current prices. All right, now then, we want to sell material. So we click on sell material. It takes us to this page, and you can see the various categories. Now, when you click on a category, there will be a drop-down menu. And that drop-down menu is an active menu where you will enter the weight of the specific material. When you hover over the material, a picture pops up. You can click on that material and see the pictures so that you have a better idea of what it is you're selling. Now, this is representative type material. Now, the main item in the box that you saw was large socket motherboard. So let's find the large socket motherboard. If you click on that, you see a picture here of the large socket motherboard, and you can, you know, scroll around, and you'll probably say, well, whoa, that looks a lot like some scrap that Shark actually did recently in one of his videos, which is true. All right, so large socket motherboard, and I had 21.73 pounds of large socket motherboards. And what you see down here is this block starts to record the weight and the price and then what you're going to get paid. All right, now you may have noticed that there was also connector ends here with the circuit board. So let's go back up here to connector ends. Here's the representative picture of those connector ends. Right here, notice that, you know, these telephone jack things. So you can wrestle with trying to get those out yourself, or you can just sell them to board sort. Now, it doesn't make any sense for me to sell connector ends to board sort by themselves. At 85 cents a pound, I lose money with the shipping. But what I like to do is take up space, use them kind of as padding in the box. So you saw in that box, I had a little corner pocket. I was able to fit a pound of connector ends right inside there in a little Ziploc bag. All right, the other thing I had was RAM. Now, RAM is a separate category, so we go down here to RAM. And we go, you've got all the categories here: blank RAM, trimmed RAM. Now, let me show you this. Here's the difference. Blank RAM is RAM that still has the gold fingers but does not have the chips. Trimmed RAM has the chips, but the gold fingers are gone. So for those of you that are really into the gold, trying to collect and process gold, then maybe this is how you want to sell your RAM. All right, then you've got mixed RAM. I don't know why anybody would do this. What you're not going to get paid nearly as much money if you send board sort mixed RAM. Go ahead and separate it yourself. Some folks, and I'm one of them, will even take these shields off of shielded RAM so that we just have the most valuable type of RAM, which is straight up gold RAM. Here's the gold finger shielded RAM. Now notice, here's mixed RAM is $6 a pound. Gold finger shielded RAM is $8 a pound. So you're already making more money by separating the shielded RAM. All right. Silver tinned RAM, and then the best one here, the gold fingered RAM at $22 a pound, right? So compare that to the $6 a pound when it's all mixed together. It's definitely worth your effort to separate your RAM. All right, so gold fingered RAM, that's what I have. I had 7.16 pounds. And again, you can either put it in decimals, 7.16, or you can go pounds and ounces, whatever's easiest for you. Now, that was all the material that I had for this box, but here you can see CPUs, and they have trim slot processors, and they have the flat packs, and they have Apple CPU. They've got a lot of categories of the CPUs, and these are all selling them by weight. This is not the tested chip program. This is just CPUs by weight. So just look at this. Here's the Intel ceramics, and those are going for $45 a pound. Sorry, I just always have to look at those. All right, so cell phones and tablets, batteries, whole systems, hardware, teardown, and metals, pretty self-explanatory. Now, once you have it all in here, and you've decided that yes, this is correct, and that's what you want to sell, then you would hit enter, and the sale would play out. We would press enter, and we get this page here. You can see I've got my name up here. We've got the timestamp here. We have not turned this into an actual sale as yet. So this is where you check your material and make sure that everything that you plan to sell is listed, that the weights are correct. You can check their math if you want to, but that's, you know, that's up to you. Once you're satisfied that that is all correct, you'll have a couple of more things you want to look at. If you want to make sure that you have properly identified the stuff you're sending and that there isn't going to be any questions, you can add pictures here. Now, I recommend that you take pictures ahead of time. If you have any questions at all, take a picture of what the material is, email it to Chris, and he will let you know how he is rating it and what it's going to pay out as. Now, the discussion forum is also very useful. There are folks on the discussion forum. If you send it, the picture on the, you know, put the picture on the forum, folks on the forum are very knowledgeable, experienced. They'll let you know as well. So between the forum people and between and Chris answering the questions, you really shouldn't come up against, well, you know, I thought it was this and they only paid me that. But again, if you do have any questions at all, this is a good place. This is your last place here now to put a picture in with the order that you're sending in. And that way there's no mistaking what you think you're sending and what they have are going to receive. And then you can add more pictures here. You know, what you would do is you'd click here, go pull the picture off of your, wherever on your computer it is, and then add a description, you know, X number of pounds of large socket boards or something like that. If you find that you have made a mistake here somewhere, you can click this back button and that'll just take you right back. You can fix your mistake and then press enter. Oops, it thinks I was fixing something, so now I have to do enter to get back here. Okay, there we go. All right, so we've got all our stuff listed. We've checked our weights. We're happy with everything. We've added pictures if we're going to add pictures. And, you know, the way you do that, in case I wasn't clear, is you add a file, you add a description, then you come click add more if you're going to add more pictures. And you just keep building out the list that way. All right, so once you've done that, then you come to how you want to get paid. They can either pay you by PayPal or they can send you a check. You know, I'm in no great hurry, so I usually just tell them to send me a check. All right, so send me a check. And then you submit the request. All right, once you submit the request, what you're going to see is your username, the timestamp, and there's an invoice number right here now. Now you have this invoice with them. Here's the listing of material that you're selling to them. And you will get this option to print. Click on that. Whatever printer, you know, software you're using comes up and you can print this. Now, I highly encourage you to go ahead and print this. Why? Because you need to put a copy of this in the box that you're shipping. It's very, very important that you include a copy of the sales invoice with your inside the box. You know, if you're used to putting packing lists on the box, that's fine, but you want to put the packing list inside the box. Now, that's important because you can imagine that Board Sort gets a number of boxes on any given day. And they want to make sure that when they open a box, they know who sent it to them and what material is inside that box, what the invoice number is so that they can balance what they pull out of that box against what you have told them you're selling to them. Now, they always reserve the right to confirm the material and confirm the weight. One time they even upgraded some boards that I sent in and paid me more money for them. So, you know, it's they're doing a good job to make sure if I had any questions, I got them answered ahead of time. But if there's any mix-up, they will make you aware of the discrepancy so that you're not taken by surprise. So that's why it's very, very important that you put a copy of the invoice in the box. Let's see, should I say that again? Put a copy of the invoice in the box. All right, now, this page also gives you information on where to ship it. So boardsort.com, 67 West Vine Street, Alliance, Ohio, 44601. I use that address so much that it just pops up now on the software with my FedEx, my UPS, and my Pirate Ship account. By the way, Pirate Ship, first I want to say I have no affiliate relationship with Pirate Ship. I'm just a customer of theirs. And there are other shipping type services like Pirate Ship out there that can help you save money on shipping. But if you have a printer, it doesn't have to be a fancy, printer. You need a printer, you need a decent scale, and some of these companies will send you a scale that you can use. You can save time and money by using these postal type services, right? You establish an account. It's almost always free with Pirate Ship. It's free. You weigh and measure the package. You buy the label from them. They email the label. You print it out. You put it on the package, take it to the post office, drop it off. You don't have to stand in line. So it saves you time and money. I use Pirate Ship, but again, there's plenty out there that you can choose from. So you want to look at that. The copy of this goes in the box. You tape up the box. If you are, got a kind of a heavy box and you don't have a U.S. Postal Service flat rate box because there was too much stuff, you can also ask Chris to send you a shipping label. So you give him the weight and the dimensions of the box, and I showed you that earlier in this email, and he can send you a label, a shipping label, that gets his corporate discount and save you a few bucks that way. Just email him and he can take care of that for you. If you are into e-waste scrapping, trying to make some more money on it, I have plenty of good information in the link that's going to pop up here about boardsort.com, about how to process e-waste, and about other e-waste related things. And of course, I've got plenty of videos on my channel, Shark Scrapper, dealing with all kinds of stuff like street scrapping and e-waste and all the other fun stuff that's associated with it. Have a great day, everybody.